Family, the market continue to hold itself up. Can it continue? Let's check it out on the charts at Stocks and Hip Hop. Thank you for coming back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I appreciate you swinging by. Of all the places you can be, you're here with me. And this is Stocks and Hip Hop. Each week what we do is we cover the market and we look for clues to see how we can protect our money. And we do that with the S&P, the Russell, we do that with the Dow Jones, and we also do that with the Nasdaq. This is the only place where you will find it simple to read the market, where I do my best to show you with simplicity how to read a chart. And then on top of that, this is Stocks and Hip Hop, the only place where you will find hip hop mixed with the stock market. And this week's lyric comes from my man Vado. Vado off of the Long Run Volume 1 album. This was out in 2019. Track Sage. And on that track, Vado lets you know that it wasn't real money when he grind the block. And this is to let you know that Stocks and Hip Hop have always been together, and I'm going to show you that every week. All right, let's check onto those charts to see what happened and how we can protect our money. The S&P closed at $4,298.86. All right, family, I think it's about time to really understand that the market is on its way to grind higher. All right, I've been on here for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks hammering the market about how bearish I was for the market to reverse. And in this case right now, it looks like that we are starting to push along that resistance area. And this is where things get very interesting, because while I have been bearish, right now we're at a point where we have to figure out where is it going to continue to move. So where can we go from here? All right, we closed at 4,298.86. We're pushing along that 4,300 area that we have been at before. At this point, and as you can see back here, we made a huge reversal. Since then, we have started to grind and grind and grind. Well, that momentum shift that I mentioned a long time ago, if you go back to the old videos about how the market could continue to turn around, looks to be true now. And we are there. So we want to see price targets. Price targets right now is we want to get a solid close above that 4,300 area. If we do not get that, we have the downside target. Downside target is if we end up coming back to retest around this 4,200 area in order to test the strength of what we have seen from the bulls. All right, so let's see where we're going to go next. Next on the list is we have IWM. We closed at $185.03. And family, this is also a positive because we have been playing a range for quite some time. Last week, we closed with strength. This week, we started to go on that strength. Remember the last video I said the price target was going to be a strong one around 190. And we almost got there. Family, we closed at 185, but we got as high as 187.77. Not bad at all. And we had a lot of volume come in, and that is always a good signal when you want to see confirmation. That volume can lead to a continuation. So price targets have not changed, family. We are still in a very huge range that we can play out, and we want to see a move towards 190. We want to get that close above 190 in order to give us real strength. Close above 190 is the upside target. Downside target is if this ends up coming back to retest around where we just broke out of that range. And family, that's around that 180 area. So we want to see it uphold 180 if it does slide lower. All right, that is IWM. Let's go ahead and check out what we got going on with the Dow. Dow closed at $33,876.78. In this one, this is the more interesting one because as you can see, we have been range bound longer in this index. And this is also a pretty decent sign that we started to uphold from where we closed that last week. So where can we go from here? Right now, we have 33, almost 39, right? Or almost 39. 34 is where we're almost at. And this has been pretty strong resistance within this range that we've played in. We want to get a solid close above there because ultimately we want to close above almost 34,450, we'll say. So price targets right now, we want to get to the top end of this resistance to push and put pressure on it in order to get higher. 34,450 price target is the upside. Downside target is if we end up coming back to retest around that 33,000 area, right around here. We want to see that continue to be upheld in order to give a chance for the bulls to execute and go higher. Lastly, let's see what's happening with the strongest index, the Nasdaq. All right, we use NDX. NDX is at $14,528.36. Last week I mentioned that we went ultra hot and we gapped too far away from our 20-day moving average. And I said that we would likely stall out because we're too far. And in this case, we did stall out, and we do have a pretty decent sized doji candle where we had indecisive action. And that's okay. It's only okay because we did not make a super retracement to the downside. So where can we go from here? Family, when you do your charts, all you want to do is you want to look at the current price and what happened the last time you were at that current price. So we just go and look and see around this area what happened before. And you can see that we've had some resistance in this 15,000 area. So price targets right now is I'm looking for this to hold tight and start to make its move to 15,000 to test that resistance. Downside target right now is if we end up coming back to test around this 14,000 area, because this is where we broke out with strength. That candle from the prior 3 weeks ago broke out with strength above 14, and we want to see if we do slide that 14 level holds. So family, let's recap right here. The bulls continue to have a stronghold in the market. We talked about this very moment weeks back before I changed my mind on how I was going to go bearish. I was going bearish because we had a strong down week, which broke a current trend at that point in time. Now things have started to shift, and we're starting to see that things held up where I thought it was going to break down at, and that is usually a clue that the market is holding strong. So we're looking to see the market have a continuation to the upside and test resistances on all the indexes. S&P right now is pushing at 4,300. IWM is going to start to push towards 190. We have the Dow, which is starting to push on its resistance at that 34,450. And then we have the Nasdaq, which is also starting to push towards its 15,000 resistance. So we're going to watch those resistance levels in order to get a firm understanding of what the market is. Remember, simplicity. When you start to push on anything, especially upward, you're going to likely bust up. Anything you push up against with enough strength, you will break through, and this is what the market is looking to do. All right, so what are you listening to for hip hop nowadays? All right, I told you about Vado. That was 2019. New projects have dropped, and I'm going to continue to fine tune my ear, and I want you to challenge yourself to listen. Man, we was talking about how to invest a long time ago. This is here, and we're going to do it together. All right, so let me know in the comments what you're listening to. We can have a conversation. Enjoy yourself this weekend. I have some work to do right after this. I am continuing to do a lot of handyman work. If you don't know me personally, I am very handy, and I have a lot of projects on my table, and that is what I have to do right after this video. So enjoy yourself this weekend. Health is wealth. Make sure you check out that podcast. And just in general, health is wealth. Drink your water, get your exercise, and make sure you spend time with people you love. I got a chance to spend excellent time with my brother, my dad, my mom, and everybody over this weekend, and it was a blast. My heart is filled for the moment. So I'll catch you next week. Peace.